All righty. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Rock and Roll Geezers Show, your weekly outfit for rock and roll news and updates and all that good stuff. And boy, this week's, not a disappointment for sure. Of course, we've got to talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees have been named. So we're going to have a lot to say about that. And Ticketmaster, that's in the news, and Journey, Mellencamp, Ozzy, Hetfield, all sorts of good stuff. We got an RIP on a legendary musician. So let's get rolling on this stuff. Got to do it with my co-host. That would be Doc Box. What's shaking there, Doc?
Dude, this yeah, hell of a week, man. One of my favorite weeks of the year when they announced the Hall of Fame inductees, and we'll get into it. But yeah, got lots to say on that. Yeah, lots of great stories this week, man. Really looking forward to getting into it. So thanks everybody for joining us, and as always, do appreciate it so much. Please tell a friend, and as you know, this is your one stop for all the jaw dropping articles and events of the week and insightful news. I guess
That Yes,
insightful
insights.
commentary. Yeah, there you go.
True that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So,
Sure enough, right out of the gate. Let's get this out of the way there, Doc.
oh my gosh.
Well, I know this. Yeah, this is one of your favorite topics. It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I think it was Monday night or no, what, Sunday night. The inductees were named on what that one of those singing shows. Which one? What
American Idol, yeah.
American Idol. Okay, I'm sorry, brain fart. But yeah, so they were listed, and of course, it's mostly a disappointment with a few surprises in there. But man, you wanna put in your 2 cents here to start out with, maybe on the performer category.
This is it's an institution that I have revered, and it's my reverence is quickly dwindling. I just it seems to me. Well, first of all, just before we get into it, they had 15 nominees, I believe. And as we stated in when they announced the nominees, they normally allow six performers. They have other categories. They get people in the back door and stuff, and we'll get into that. But it's
Mm-hmm.
usually six. And I've always thought that was too much. That things are getting watered down. And boy, they are going in a different direction than I think they should. They've eight in the performer category alone. Early influences they've expanded. It's like every category they've expanded. And to me, that's not the point of the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame should be more exclusive, not more
Yeah.
inclusive.
No,
And I know that's what
exactly.
they're trying to do and make everybody happy, but it's the Hall of Fame. It's not the Hall of okay. It's not the Hall of we've heard of you. It's the Hall of Fame. This is for
Excellence.
the
Yes.
top notch. This is for, and,
Yes.
and to
Yes.
have, you're what, 40 years into it now, almost 39 years into it, and you got eight. It's just too much. It's getting totally watered down,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
list of people going in is evidence to that. So, um, yeah, well,
I,
I'll get into the performers. Couple obviously well deserved. There always are a couple, but starting off with the hip hop acts, you remember that Tribe Called Quest and Eric B and Rakim were the two that were nominated. And I predicted Eric B and Rakim. I was totally wrong. They went Tribe Called Quest, so I missed that one. But so Tribe Called Quest got in. This is their third nomination, and finally got in. Um, Cool in the Gang. This is where they're getting too watered down, man. Cool in
mm-hmm.
the Gang,
Yeah.
dude. Come on, Cool in it. Celebrate good times. Come on. All right, great song at weddings and events and whatever. But Hall of Fame. What else?
Yeah. Where's your stairway to heaven, man?
I don't,
Where's
I
your
don't get it.
legendary body of work that should be, a prerequisite
Yeah,
for even being considered? I mean, I'm sorry, one or two hits, yeah, you talk about watered down.
there's
And
nothing groundbreaking there. Just
and
total pop, middle of the road. Nothing, excuse me, nothing
and
special about it.
yeah, on my list here, they've got one of them is Mary J. Blige.
Mary J.
Uh,
Blige.
what are you kidding? What really? Wow. I To
Yeah, that's on the
somebody, she
level
must
with
be a legend,
Janet
you know?
Jackson. To me, I just don't see either one of them worthy. And you know, I am all about all the branches of the tree.
Hmm.
It's not about genre to me so much. It's just
You're even into the roots too of the tray
yeah,
kind of
I mean,
deal.
like I said, I'm okay with everybody from all different genres, but you got to have some merit, man. It's not it doesn't seem to be on merit as much. I don't know what it's on anymore. Just trying to it's getting political, and the people have been complaining that not enough women have been represented. So the last few years, they've really been focused on that, and I don't know.
Next
Another
up,
one. Let's see. Share.
share,
Okay,
yeah.
share.
Uh,
Man,
well, you could say,
longevity and just pop
longevity,
culture
the hits
reference.
in the 60s were
Yeah.
excellent. Then she went nuts on her own and had some hits. And then she was banging that big gun on the warship. And then it all went downhill. I don't know. But all that she was pretty, they were pretty consistent on the transistor radio back in the days. Yeah, I go back to those. I'm old enough for that. We used to walk into town with our, we have our transistor radios going, AM.
Right?
And she was, so yeah, longevity
Yeah,
wise,
just as pop culture reference and nothing else.
and
I'm okay with that.
she's been in this scene forever, for decades. She's still around, and she's been here
True.
since the '60s. So yeah, you gotta give her that for at
And
least
she was married to Greg
longevity.
Allman, so there's a couple points
Hey,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah, indeed.
Yeah, she said Mary J. Blige, Dave Matthews Band.
Nah,
They were nominated a few years back, and were actually received the top fan vote, but didn't get in that year. And now
really?
they've got in this
Wow.
year. So
He should get the
Dave Matthews
sanitation
Band,
award. Yeah, the sanitation award for Dave. Give them the special Rock and Roll Hall of Fame sanitation award and move on. And that's a deep story, so if you don't know it, we'll just move on. But yeah, sanitation.
um,
Foreigner. Hey, wow. Foreigner. Now this is going to be a conundrum, Dr. Rooney, and let me tell you why. Well, who the hell's going to show up? Is what's for? Yeah, yeah. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, this is another one of those bands that no longer has an original member to it. So I imagine while the old geezers of the original Foreigner, however many are left, are up there accepting the award, the actual Foreigner today could be out doing a gig that night. So it's a very conundrum type of
Yeah,
goofy
they've
thing.
had that happen with different bands, and they've pretty much had the excuse me the present band play, and then sometimes they'll incorporate the older guys in there, and sometimes they don't. So we'll see. But yeah, Lou Graham's still out there doing the cruise kind of thing, right? The
Uh
boat
huh.
cruise
Oh
kind of
yeah,
thing. He's
he just
popping up
did
on
one
those.
recently. Yeah.
So I'm sure he'll show up, but will he perform? I don't know. Mick Jones, is he capable of performing? I don't know. I don't even know how many of the other guys are still around. I know a couple of them passed, but
They're gonna have the today Foreigner behind them playing their hits that they can
right.
no longer hit while they're up on at the podium saying thank you so much. They're behind us playing. Sort of like a Guess Who situation. It's like creepy as hell. Moving
Yeah, as
on.
far as just on their
Ah,
merit, foreigner, yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
I'd
a
have been
lot of big
okay if they were
hits.
still out too. I mean,
A
I
lot
don't
of
know.
big hits for the original guys. So that's okay. They had a pretty steady stream of hits through probably a couple of decades. So
Well, they did kind of, relative to past years, I think they were a little heavy in the rock genre. So the next one, Peter Frampton.
bingo, bam, bingo,
So,
bongo, bango. Good old Peter Frampton from, of course, I first got introduced to him on Humble Pie's "Rockin' the Fillmore" album, where he was the guitarist, and holy schmokums, what a great album that is! And then, of course, he went solo with his Frampton's Camel and all that stuff, and then he put
right.
out the most probably mega live album ever in the history of the universe. So
But
he
then that's
did pretty
kind of
good.
it. I mean, yeah, I have like 3 or 4 of his albums. Actually, I'm a bit of a Frampton fan, but to be Hall of Fame worthy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really
Who's
on the border with him. You remember
yeah,
when we did the show, I thought he was kind of maybe the dark horse pick that might get in there, and sure enough, he did. But I
man.
don't know. To me, is he on the same level as like the Who? And I know, but I don't know.
No,
Where,
no, no, but
I don't know. I wish I
yeah.
knew exactly where their bar was at. It's just I don't know.
Well, yeah, yeah. Well, it's better than Cool in the Gang anyway.
It's
We
better
talked
cool
about
again. Get
them.
that right.
We'll move on. Oh, look at here.
And then the
He's
big one in the
the
performer
big one.
category. He's in
Like
twice now.
Sharon,
Ozzy!
Sharon. It's
Ozzy! Ozzy
Ozzy.
Osbourne, first
Ozzy
metal guy in
Osbourne.
twice. He's in with Sabbath and now as a solo artist, which to me, that should have been a long time ago. I mean, musically, yeah, well, a
Right,
few
right.
years back, remember Randy Rhoads got in under the
Hmm.
forget one of the side categories, but so yeah, it seems like a no-brainer that Ozzy should be in then. So,
Yeah,
and
pretty.
sure enough, this year, and
Yeah.
well, that should be a really interesting acceptance speech, I'm sure.
Oh boy, as they wheel his ass out. Well, hey, he's walking with a cane, so we want it to be wheeled out. So at least that's good. Okay, and then the other important one is the Musical Excellence Award. And right
Yeah,
out of the gate, they got the Margarita Man himself, Jimmy Buffett, which obviously they did honor him with his passing last year. So he had one, couple of cheeseburger in paradise and Margaritaville and all that. But other than that, he was just a great party guy. So in that case, I'd give him the award just because he promoted margaritas and hanging out on the beach. So, you
yeah,
know.
but I've always hated him. I've always hated him. There's no bones about that. But yeah, he's in posthumously, and he's in the musical excellence category, which just kills me every. That's how Judas Priest got in, remember, and Chaka Khan, a few other people like LL Cool J, and it's just such a backdoor way to get in. It's a
Yeah.
different criteria of voting. It's more up to a smaller committee, and it's
Hmm.
just kind of like, all right, you guys trying to get this guy or this act in every year, and he never does. So we're gonna get him in this way, and it's just I don't know. I
And
guess you're
here,
still in when they go in that way. You're still in the Hall of Fame, but I don't know.
yeah,
Kind of got
yeah.
an asterisk to
And
me.
then
Kind
there's
of.
a couple more. There's a couple more. There's a Dionne Warwick, which Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Okay, whatever. Norman
I don't think
Whitfield. You looked
so.
him up. He's a writer, correct?
I'm sorry.
Norman Whitfield. Is he a writer,
Yeah, Norman
songwriter?
Whitfield. He was a guy back in Motown. He wrote a lot of the
Ah,
Motown stuff. Yeah.
okay. Hey, no problem with that at all. That
Yeah. No, I got to get
Motown
into
was legendary.
it.
And then the fourth member on the Musical Excellence Award, which they should have been
Is
in
it
some
musical
other
excellence or early
Musical
influence?
Excellence Award. It says here
Okay.
MC5. MC5. Boy, wow. They didn't last long. They only put out a couple albums or whatever.
Three
But
albums. Yeah.
boy, oh boy, man, they were punk big time. They were radicals, man. They were crazy. They were great. Boy, of course back in the late 60s, I started had a friend who had a brother who had Kick Out the Jams, and Abraxas and Maggot Face and a few, but Kick Out the Jams, man. I considered that thing like totally top notch, totally raw. None of this, let's go to studio and redo a bunch of tracks on this live album. You can hear all the grunge and the
Oh
crunch and
yeah.
everything and they were legendary and because that's what they did in 68. What was that there, Doc? What did they do in 68?
Hell, what we got coming up here in a couple of months? The Democratic Convention in Chicago.
Oh boy, this is going to
So
be another crazy time in Chicago.
there won't be a
I'll make the
reliving of
popcorn,
MC5,
man.
I'm sure. But yeah, the shame of it is they're all gone. The last
Yep.
one, Wayne Kramer just left us, just a few months ago. We
Brother
talked
Wayne
about it.
Kramer, yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Fred
they're all
Sonic
gone
Smith,
now. Yeah,
Rod
they were the
Tyner.
first hard rock band. They were, the first punk, first metal, for whatever you want to call it,
Boy.
hard rock. They were the first. And the Stooges were kind of their little brother band and kind of surpassed them in a lot of ways. But or
Oh yeah.
they're long time been in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, glad that they're in now and well deserved. And just wish they did it while Wayne Kramer or anybody or somebody was
Doggone.
still around.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And their USA album, that was all right, but nothing compares, especially even to the opening. The album starts out with Ramblin' Rose, and then they go into the intro to Kick Out the Jams. This intro guy,
And of course, yeah, kick out the jams,
I want to
motherfuckers. And
see
this
you
is the
see your hands.
1968. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Oh, yeah, yeah.
you know,
And my friend's brother had the original version. You pull it up and there's a lot of writing inside there. They sleep together. They F together. They blah blah blah. Just crazy stuff. But yeah, it's just the beginning intro to kick out the jams is just legendary. You know, it's just a really good one. So good
Oh,
for
they're
them.
who was it? Was he their manager? He was involved. John Sinclair. He just recently died,
Ugh,
just like a week last week, 2 weeks.
everybody's
Yeah,
dying now. This
I
is
know,
crazy.
man.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then real quick, musical influence. Alexis Corner, John Mayall. John Mayall and the Blues,
John Mayall, the Blues Breakers.
and
Yeah,
Big Mama Thornton. So there you go on that.
Big Mama
John
Thornton
Mayall.
did the original Hound Dog. She was the
Ah,
originator of that. So she's
John
yeah, goes
Mayall
way
should have been
back,
in about 60 years ago, but that's
right?
another story, nonetheless. And one more, the Yamet Erdogan Award, Suzanne DePasse or whatever, DePasse.
Not familiar with her. I'm guessing some label owner maybe or something.
Executive, yeah. So
Yeah,
there you go. There's your Hall of Fame. Wow, wow, wow.
yeah.
Yeah. Just one surprise, MC5. I was totally taken aback by that one, but well deserved. But I'm surprised they actually got their act together at one point.
Yeah, it reminds me of like I was mentioned a while back when Randy Rhodes got in, just
Randy.
on one of those kind of categories. We're like, wow, for them to recognize him, and that was surprising at the time. And now MC5, I was surprised to hear that. Yeah, that's another thing. Before we let this go, why are they announcing this shit on American Idol?
Hey, what's up with that? I ain't gonna watch it. I'm sorry. What the hell?
What is their fan base? What are they trying to appeal to? And I haven't watched American Idol. I mean, back, I'm divorced now, but back when I was married and the kids, we'd watch some. I remember back in the Clay Aiken days or whatever. But now in this episode, they had Gene Simmons. There he is. Gene. Who else?
What?
Gene
What?
Simmons was the what do they call him, the mentor,
Oh,
and he mentored all the different contestants, in their performance for the night. It was a Hall of Fame theme, so they would do songs by Hall of Fame artists, and Gene would give them tips on performing and stuff. So it's such schlock. Like they all get up there, and Lionel Richie and with the other guy or whatever, and they're all just, oh, that was moving, it was fabulous, amazing. It was just any superlative you care to throw out there. They just and it's like,
eh,
come on, not everybody is the second coming, man. Come on,
that's
what?
why I hate Hollywood.
Oh
I
God.
just hate Hollywood
Unfortunately,
so much.
it was a half hour into the show when they made the announcement, so I didn't have to sit through the whole show, which I thought I didn't know, but
Yeah,
and
jeez.
I just don't get the connection. Why on American Idol? I guess that's their market now, that their demographic they're trying to appeal to, but I don't know, man. It just
Yeah,
seems like
but
they're losing it over at the Hall of
well,
Fame. I don't know.
I hate that kind of Hollywood schlock. They get it
To me,
on
that's
that they get it on that show on Fox where they dress up like furries or whatever and sing, and you got to guess who it is, and it's
right.
so Hollywood horrible schlock.
But to me, American Idol is the opposite of the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is the elite, the pinnacle. The very American Idol is amateur hours. So it's like it's America's karaoke night, or whatever. It's it's the
Yeah,
total opposite of the Hall of Fame.
of integrity and
But
length
yeah,
and yeah,
exactly,
just
man. I mean,
wow,
I don't know.
shame for shame.
I
Well,
guess they're trying to market to a new demographic, but I don't know.
yeah, go away, damn it. Something
We
else. Here
could
we
go
go.
on, but we won't.
Let's move on, man. Here we go. Ticketmaster. Ooh, Ticketmaster in the news. Headline out of Whiskey Riff. The Justice Department is officially suing Live Nation. Ticketmaster, the same thing, for running an illegal monopoly. It's about time. J.D.
Wow.
Rockefeller, he's rolling over in his grave right now. If you remember, J.D. Rockefeller, owner of Standard Oil, was the first monopoly in America that they busted. So here we go. And this is a good one, though. For years, Live Nation and Ticketmaster have made the ticket buying experience one full of dread and an inordinate amount of additional fees. It's no secret that the ticket market for live events is all the way corrupt. I can tell you how many times I've gone to buy a $45 ticket, and when I go to checkout, it's 145. That's a little ridiculous after all the services and transaction fees and all that crap. But I do see their point in that respect that they do basically have a monopoly. The venue we go to is a Live Nation uh,
Yeah.
uh, uh, venue, so we got to put up with all that crap. And yeah, it's not getting any better; it's getting worse. So hallelujah. Somebody's, I don't know what they can do about it. Uh, I don't know what other companies in the wings because this one is so big. They basically control everything, aside from some smaller venues like in the Chicago Burbs or whatnot, Arcade and whatnot in our area. But Live Nation, man, they really, yeah, it really is a monopoly. So they really do need to do something about that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the fallout of this and how everything kind of lands. But yeah, the feds are getting involved, and you know what sparked it? The Swifties, man,
That's
the
you.
Swifties.
I was wondering
You
if you
know,
saw that. Yes.
you start getting the moms involved and stuff, man. Mothers, man, have a lot of pull, man, when they get together. There ain't no doubt about it. So yeah, they start getting involved. And on top of that, we've had different artists speaking up as well. So just I don't
Yes.
know what sparked for the feds to get into it other than that, but the Swifties, yeah, man. And
Oh yeah, yeah. We had Kid Rock. Kid Rock was saying
yeah,
they were a
Zach Bryan, we
monopoly.
talked about last week. So
Yep, yep. Zach Bryant, he's really out of his mind on this. And we've heard other people, of course, our crazy singer dude who was always in the news, Randy. Gosh, I brain fart. I hate getting old. The guy. Oh, never mind. I can't even remember his name. I'm such a bloom. Randy Rat wrote. But
Ronnie
anyway, yeah,
Radke,
yeah, yeah. He's been bitching about it too. Basically, before everybody
trying to
else
think,
has.
trying to look
Ronnie
for clues there,
Ronnie
Murph. I
Radke.
finally bailed you out,
Thanks,
man.
man. Yeah, Ronnie Radke. Yeah, but they're all right. These guys, they're not dumb. They see it. They deal with it. And yeah, what a monopoly. And of course, it goes back. Hell, Pearl Jam was battling them back in the day. Way back in the day on one of their tours, they wanted to do it like a $25 ticket or whatever, and you just can't deal with a monopoly like that. So good for the Justice Department. I don't know what they're gonna do, but way to
Yeah, we'll
go,
see what
Swifties!
comes of it. But
Way
yeah,
to
doing
go,
something
Swifties!
worthwhile for sure.
Oh,
I
you
hope it
remember?
opens a whole can of worms and they start looking at all the different promoters. And how we're talking about the different venues, taking them big percent of the merch and all that kind
Right,
of stuff.
right.
I hope that reaching into all that kind of stuff. So we will see. That's a big step, huge step.
Oh man. Oh, and of course, Zach Bryant. You need to listen to his song "Burn, Burn, Burn" from his "All My Homies Hate Ticketmaster" live from Red Rocks album. So yeah, he really hates them, and I can't blame him. You know, with the Monopoly, they do what they please.
Well,
As
like I said, it's a huge step, but yeah, let's kind of see where it goes and what comes of it. And, before we
and
start
kiss my
celebrating.
ass, J.D. Rockefeller, jerk. Although we did have good gas price, everything was good, but it didn't matter. The government still went after Standard
Yeah,
Oil.
you can't have that, man.
Can't have that stuff going on. But here we go. Here we go. Holy cow, Journey. Journey. We haven't talked about them too much. Doesn't seem to be too much upheaval in the Journey camp at this point. But nonetheless, they got in the news, and it's for a good thing. It's for a rare thing. Headline. Well, let's just the first sentence here. Journey's greatest hits album has reached a rare plateau by notching its 800th week on the Billboard 200. Holy cow! The gift that just keeps on giving for them. 800 weeks. That's a lot of weeks. That's a lot of years, Doc. What do you
It's
think about
almost
that?
16 years, man. So, and of course, yeah, there's only two other albums that have reached this milestone. So that's super rare, man. Three albums in the history of all the albums.
Well,
And of course, it's not consecutive weeks. The
I,
Dark
I
Side of the Moon has the record for that for
I
consecutive
knew
weeks.
what one of them was. I knew what one of
Dark
them
Side
was
of the
right out of
Moon
the Dark Side of
is
the
the
Moon. I
one.
knew that. But the other
And
one, I would have had no idea whatsoever.
I could have got it in three guesses, I think.
Really think
Yeah,
so?
the other one, Bob Marley's Legend. It's just such a
Ah,
wide, it's just worldwide, man. I mean,
yeah,
everybody
yeah.
knows Bob Marley, man. It's such a wide audience.
Yeah,
He's
man.
a global appeal, I mean, really.
So,
And
yeah.
that's the thing out of those three albums. You got Floyd, great landmark album. I mean, just
Oh,
top of the heap. And then you got Bob Marley, the global reach, and everybody loves Bob Marley. And then you got Journey. It's just kind of middle of the road.
But I
Just
guarantee you, though, every one of the songs on that thing we've heard a million times. I mean, they've had so many
yeah, they put
monster
a couple on there that are
crusher
kind
hits.
of weak.
You
Yeah, I've
know?
got the album, but
Oh,
um,
well, of course. Yeah.
well, remember
You've
we just
got
talked about what a couple weeks ago. "Don't Stop Believing" is the biggest song of all time,
exactly.
according to
And
the
so,
record industry.
boy, oh
So
boy, 800. Good for them. But yeah, they'll boy, they had some good songwriting. Them boys did. I gotta get them props. Get them
even
props
as the
because
greatest hits album, I don't know. To me, it's okay. I mean, they left off some of their FM radio hits, I guess. Anytime and all those kind of hits, but yeah, put more in the middle of the road kind of stuff on there.
oh, I'm excited about this
Good for
next
them.
item. I'm excited about this next item, Doc. This is so great. We love this guy. He's probably our favorite performer ever. John Cougar Mellencamp. This cat, look at there. He's hollering at the fans right there at this picture I got behind me there. John Mo- John, Mo- John Mellencamp tells fans to behave or don't come to behave or don't come to my show. I got to do my old man voice on this one. It says here, John Mellencamp has a clear message to fans planning to attend his shows. Behave or just stay home. The Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, known as blah, 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 with Jagged Diane, recently hit the road in his 2024 live and in person tour, which, we'll be seeing, although I think he's doing an opening. But he had a conversation with the Washington Post. They're great, the Washington Post. Boy, they're just the best. Says, says I do expect etiquette inside of the theater, the same way you would at a Broadway show, the rocker explained. My shows are not really concerts anymore. They're performances, and there's a difference between a performance and a concert. And to that end, Mellencamp demands a certain amount of decorum from his audience. Look, I'm not for everyone anymore, the singer admits. I'm just not. And if you want to come and scream and yell and get drunk, don't come to my show. Okay, pal. Okay, Cougar Mellencamp head, Cougar head John. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh, he goes on. Boy, this is great. If these people don't shut the F up, I'm just gonna leave, okay? Yeah, that's what he tells the crowd. Because I'm not used to this crap. Look, guys, if I wanted to play in this type of drunken environment, I'd play outside or I'd play in the arena. Holy cow, this is going to be. I'm looking so forward to seeing him if he lasts that long. I predict, he won't last the tour by the time he comes to Chicago, Doc.
Why?
Because people are going to be harassed. He's inviting people to
Well,
harass
the
him
tour we see
now.
him on with Bob Dylan and Willie Nelson, that's going to be an outside. That's going to be a totally different thing. I mean, he's talking about this tour here,
It
and
doesn't. Oh,
I kind of he's a crusty fuck, but we all know that. But I kind of get his point. But he needs to communicate. But I've been to shows like Springsteen had a thing. Oh God, maybe about 15, 20 years ago now. But it was a more of an intimate setting, and maybe he's trying to be more like the Springsteen Broadway show or something. Or it's more of an intimate setting.
that's what he's saying. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can understand, but you got to communicate that on the ticket. I remember buying that Springsteen. This said on there, it's going to be the exits are going to be blocked off at a certain time, all this kind of stuff. It was more very, kind of intimate kind of show like that. And, he doesn't have to go to those kind of measures, but put something on it where, hey, this is not, an outside summertime party time kind of thing. This is a theater. But yeah, he's just a crusty fuck though anyway.
Oh, geez. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And last May, of course, the audience member yelled, play the effing music after Mellencamp offered criticism of the USA. Well, see, I think he's going to be hassled even in the tour we're seeing him in. I think he's just invited everybody, all these wise asses. Hey, let's get up close to the stage so we can give Mellencamp shit and see if we can get him to storm off the stage. You watch, because America's become such an abrasive place at this point that there's idiots everywhere. So you watch. There's gonna be happy. That's gonna be
Yeah, it's a
happening.
different he's not headlining when we'll see him. I mean, it's a different kind of setting. So
Yeah,
he
we'll
might be a
see
little
what
more
happens.
humble and just kind of do the hits and get out of the way for Bob Dylan and Willie Nelson. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on. That's all I got to say about that. Oh yeah. Well, good for you, John Cougar Mellencamp. We'll see you a little bit later this summer. Yeah, moving on. Oh, the Great Escape 2024 Festival. Here we go again, Doc. Dozens more artists have joined the Great Escape 2024 boycott as half the lineup demands festival drops Barclays sponsor in solidarity with Palestine. There is no Palestine, number one, but we won't go into the politics of it. We've talked about this the last couple of weeks, how these Irish or Scottish bands have just backed out of some really good gigs in solidarity in protest of well, for one, our army, and now it's because obviously Barclays must be lined up with Israel or whatever.
Dude, this is like some third hand. Like this is just getting too far. So Barclays is a bank. I believe this is over in the UK, right? Or across
You
the
are
pond.
correct, sir. I believe so. But yeah,
Barclays
yeah.
is a bank, and they're invested in companies that supply arms to Israel. So it's like,
Oh,
how far back do you know? I mean, come
yeah,
on.
yeah. Twice
You know,
removed, three times, four times removed. This is ridiculous. But Barclays a bank.
they
They
invest in
finance
anybody that's
companies,
going to make them
make
money,
them
man.
money. Bingo. That's the
Yeah,
whole bottom line. Yeah, yeah. They want to get a return. And well, some of these well it was started by the issue was highlighted by a petition started by the promoter How to Catch a Pig and the band The Menstrual Cramps. Well, quite honestly, if the Menstrual Cramps wants to back out of a gig, I'm more than happy. I'm more than happy
Yeah, it doesn't sound
that.
like a band that's trying to get attention. Do you think? Calling themselves a menstrual cramps and going into these fests and backing out and making a big deal about it. Yeah, whatever. They're just attention grabbing whores. Yeah.
Boy, what's with these? Jeez, this is getting out of control. But what do? You just tell them fine, and we'll be sure to put out to other festivals not to hire you. You know, and
Oh,
we'll
that's
see.
what we
We'll
were
see.
talking about before. Yeah. Why bother? Why go through the trouble? In
Of
this
high,
case,
yeah.
there's like a lot of bands dropping out, right? I mean, there's like what, like a dozen maybe or something.
Oh,
There's like
more
a
than
lot of
that.
them, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's a bunch. But geez, yeah. And I know none of these names, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it's just one of
Go
the
on
bullshit festivals.
and suffer the
Oh,
trials
just
of a
these self-righteous,
struggling band.
virtue signaling pukes and just trying to, make a name. Like I said, just trying to make a name for themselves, get their name out there. Which I guess, in this day and age, and we talked about how hard it is for bands coming up. Maybe they're looking for any angle to get their name out there, but shame on them for doing it. This is not the way to do it, man. Just
No.
be the other guy. Be the guy that's going to step in and play. Say, hey, we're here to play. We're all about rock and roll, man, or whatever. But
Well, I'd
I
love
don't
to
know.
I'd love to, talk to them about some of these bands about October 7th, but they wouldn't care. Oh, that's all fake.
Well, there's
They
no,
told us that. They told us that on the news. They told us,
yeah, yeah. There's
the
no talking.
professor tell you what. So yeah, there's no talking. So good for them. Go away. Especially the menstrual cramps. I imagine they're a pain in the ass
Nobody wants to
or a
see
pain in
them.
the crotch. They're a pain in the crotch. The
Nobody wants
menstrual
to see
cramps.
them.
My guys, they probably don't even have a Facebook page. Who knows? Who
Yeah,
cares?
they're boycotting because a bank that invests in a company that supplies arms to Israel is sponsoring this festival. You know what? These festivals wouldn't happen if they didn't have sponsors.
Oh
So I'm
yeah,
sure
yeah.
they're not being real political on who they get either.
Well, they're standing up to their principles, Doc, and they'll be back to
Yeah,
playing in the basement in no
uh,
time. In
yeah.
no time. In the corner, the sleazy bar. Yeah, yeah. Okay, here we go. This guy, will he ever go away? I don't think he'll. I think he's eternal, and that would be the one and only. Where is he? Where are you there? Oh, my mouse is freaking out here. There he is. There's Ozzy. Good grief! Remember that show, The Osbournes, the original?
Oh yeah.
Way back in the day. Well, it's gonna get a headline: The Osbournes TV show to get an official re-release with new content. So they're gonna milk that guy until forever. They're gonna milk him for every little thing. This is just insane. And of course, it was an MTV creation. Shame on MTV. Shame on MTV for where they went. You know, the direction they went in. Gosh, it was so great back in the day. Back when there was video after video, great video. Just boy, was that great. It was like a radio station for the eyes. And then it just turned into reality shows and just dropped to hell. And I blame the Osborne show for fueling that demise, if you will, of what was really a great station at one point.
And that's why now the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees have to be announced on American Idol because there is no music channel to be announced on that people watch. So
Yeah.
I don't
Yep.
know. Maybe I don't know. There's a theory. Just popped up. Who knows?
And of
But
course,
yeah, it's through their own thing, the Osborne Media House. So it's their own company they're releasing it through. And
sure, of
yeah, there's
course.
going to be additional footage. I'm sure that MTV left out back in the day that they're going to put out right now. So yeah, whatever.
Isn't enough? Hopefully, this money's going to kids or grandkids or something. If that's the case, then I would actually respect Ozzy and Sharon's decision. If all this extra money coming in is going to help the family and all this, but if they're just
Well,
doing it just
ultimately,
because
I mean, the
they're
more money they
whores,
got, the more it gets
well, who
passed to
knows?
them.
Oh gosh, but geez, it just what is enough? I got it. Isn't he worth like God?
I remember when it first came. I didn't care for the show, to be honest with you. I remember it first came out, and I'm like, oh, it wants,
I
it's
want to
like
see
just seeing him
videos.
mumble around and just I don't know. I didn't care for it at all. If you remember, it was brought on. They were on an episode of Cribs.
Right.
Remember the old
Yes.
MTV Cribs? And they were on, and I don't know, some producer, who knows how it came about from there, but somebody must have put two and two together and say, hey, let's make this a show. And
Yeah. Well, that's horrible. And then they had Pimp My Rides. Remember that Pimp My Rides? And
oh
they'd
yeah,
always and then afterwards, like a year or two later, they'd go back and check out the cars, and there's just total piles of crap because it was a total, horrible, horrible jobs, and it's just good riddance. So we're not going to be able to get rid of the Osbournes. Obviously, they're never going away. And this is just proof of that. They're going to actually re-release the freaking thing. Oh, that's just great. So, it's the
well, then
Osbournes. So,
again, though, I mean, if you had an outlet to put that out and you have control over it, why wouldn't you? I mean,
yeah.
especially you got this footage that's never been seen. I guess why not? But
Well, America loves the Osbournes, Doc, I guess.
they're not worried about oversaturating the market. We've already been,
Oh,
pretty
man.
full of Ozzy. So
They're
if you
pretty
haven't had
good
enough of
now.
them yet, why not more?
How about that? You remember talking about Lemmy's ashes? Hell, they ought to write a book about this. Lemmy's ashes. Lemmy's ashes. I'll tell you what. Uh, they're yeah. We talked a lot about it. Lemmy died. He was cremated, and boy, they split up his ashes big time. I don't know how many ashes they had, but a lot of people got Lemmy bullets, which were made with a part of
Right?
Lemmy's ashes in them, and blah blah blah.
Over 100 of those.
And the latest Lemmy Ash tale. I mean, they're everywhere. He's at rock shows, rock festivals. He's spread out throughout the world. But yeah, headline: James Hetfield shows off new tattoo with Lemmy's ashes in it. Without him, there wouldn't be no Metallica. And there it is, right there. Yeah, it's of course the Ace of Spades. He had the Ace of Spades
The old Iron
tattooed on,
Cross with the Ace of Spades. Yeah.
tired on, put onto his middle finger so he can flip the paper of the bird. I don't know. I wish Lemmy would let people would let Lemmy's ashes just lay, just leave him alone. I'm sure Lemmy wouldn't agree, but good riddance already. What are we gonna have next? Books that have Lemmy's ashes in the ink. I mean, geez, did they clone his ashes? I talked about this episodes before. What are they cloning his ashes? Because it seems like everybody's got his ashes, bullets all over the place, ashes at rock shows, and now Hetfield's got tattoos with ashes. What's the next? What do you think there, Doc? Eh?
Yeah, like we talked about, there's a lot of festivals where they have little monuments to Lemmy, and there's piece of his, little urn with his ashes and stuff. And then there's 100 of those bullets that have been given out to folks like Rob Halford, and apparently James Hetfield's one of them. And he decided to mix a little bit in some ink and put it on his bill so he can flip off the world like Lemmy. I don't get the, I don't know.
When you're 21 years old, that's radical. That's badass. When you're radical, but when you're shit, you got to be in his 60s, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
James Hetfield in his 60s. At some points, like, come on, Grandpa. What are you? You got
Well, I
the.
know it's like an antisocial, but that's, I don't know.
But come on,
You know what I've
Grandpa. You're
noticed
no
too,
longer antisocial. You're a one percenter. Stop
right?
it. He's a
You know
one
what else I've
percenter.
noticed? You never
What's
see
that?
black guys flipping you off. It's only a white guy
No.
thing,
Isn't that weird? I don't get. Well, we talked about this episodes ago. How I just find it so odd that band members sit there and flip you the bird. It's like, well, f you back, pal.
yeah.
Really,
It's
kiss
just I
my
don't know.
ass.
I don't
I
know
don't
what
know.
they're trying to signify a
I
lot of
don't get
times
it, but
doing it.
James. It's cool when you're in your 20s, but when you're in your 60s, come
But
on,
yeah, there's
Gramps.
Lemmy's
I imagine
ashes
he's a
apparently.
Gramps.
I wonder if they're all really Lemmy's ashes, or did they like
They
throw
put
in
in
some
some
ash
cement
helper in there or
mix,
something to
yeah,
spread them out a
some
little
dry
bit?
cement or something.
Yeah, some
We
who
just
knows, they put
recently had
a
a
dog in there with them or something. I don't
I
know.
saw in
No,
the news recently there was a funeral home that was giving people cement instead of the actual ashes.
oh
So
jeez.
it can happen. But
But
James,
yeah,
come on,
apparently they're
whatever.
everywhere. I'm gonna look around the garage here. I might have some of Lemmy's ashes laying around. Man. I don't know.
Lemmy's ashes, yes, yes. So I don't know, whatever. I'm anxious to see the next Lemmy story we get because they just keep coming. This is a pretty unique one, but at the same time, stop flipping people to bird. It's no longer cool when you're an old grandpa. Although you could, hey, get up my line, you son of a big god
Then
darn
again, I
son of
mean,
a
you just had
god dang son of a
such a small
god
portion
dang. Go ahead.
such a small portion of ashes. I'm sure he didn't want to have a really big tattoo, and he wanted to have it somewhere prom. I mean, symbolically, I don't know. I guess I don't know.
Oh boy. Oh, here's some sad news. Boy, oh boy. What a bummer. But life ain't forever. One of the founding members of the legendary Allman Brothers Band passed away. Dickie Betts. Wow. Man. Jeez. Where do you even start with a guy? This band, Southern Rock, them and like Leonard Skinner, Marshall Tucker, all sorts of them Southern bands, really kicked ass. But the Allman Brothers Band, they were especially when Dwayne was with them. I had their live at Fulmer album, and somehow I lost it. But that was amazing stuff. And him and Dwayne really perfected that double lead stuff.
Yes,
That
they
that
did.
boy, oh boy, they were just monsters.
Yeah,
And
to me, that's the best two guitar attack out there. I mean, to me, I'm a huge Allman Brothers fan, and yeah, sad to see Dickie go, man. He was a great songwriter too. He wrote Ramblin' Man,
Rambling Man,
wrote
boy, oh boy,
Jessica.
Lord, I
Remember
was born a
Elizabeth
rambling
Reed.
man. Jeez.
What else? A couple other ones. So yeah, he's a Blue Sky. You're my Blue Sky. Yeah, he wrote that one. So
But yeah,
yeah,
Rambling Man. Everybody will know. Lord, I was born a
yeah.
rambling
He sang. He
man.
did
Boom.
vocals on that one too.
That's
So,
legend. Yeah, yeah. There you go. There's your Dickie Betts right
so
there, and the guitar work on it. And
Now, of course,
boy,
when they broke up, he had a lot of solo albums and stuff, but he was the guy that initiated the reunion. He was the guy that kind of started
boy, oh
getting
boy.
back together again, and
Well, them
that
them
was
Southern
obviously
pickers,
more
man.
successful than
Them
they could have
Southern
been themselves.
pickers. Them Southern guitar players. Man, oh man.
Other thing
They're
people don't know:
oh
Dickie
boy.
Betts, the inspiration for remember the movie Almost Famous?
Sure.
Great
Yeah,
movie,
yeah.
man. I love that movie.
Absolutely.
And he was the inspiration for the Billy Crudup character.
No kidding.
Yeah, the one. Yeah. So
Oh man. Well, rest in peace.
yeah,
Rest in
Rusty, 80
peace.
years old, died of cancer and
Yeah.
COPD.
Oh boy. What a bummer. What a drag. But yeah, rest in peace. That's probably most of the band now. It's up there with the Almond Boys kicking
Yeah,
ass. So
the brothers
boy,
and
oh boy.
Barry
There you
Oakley.
go. How about it? I'm moving on. One last story. I found this one pretty interesting because I can really relate. Ah, Chris Robinson, there he is. The Black Crows. They just played last week in Chicago area, as a
Yeah,
matter of
yeah.
fact.
Too bad we couldn't make it. I mean, we saw him last time in town.
Yep, yep. But he says Black Crows don't know shit about music, and I don't,
That was a way to put it.
well, I see his point. You know what? You know, like me, I'm a guitar player, been a guitar player since '69, but I never really took the craft seriously, and that's what they're talking about. Uh, we really don't know shit about music. We didn't learn music. I don't read music. Rich doesn't read music. None of them read music. While Robinson noted the other musicians do the effing math, he argued his band has found success by focusing on the emotions of songs rather than the technicalities. And I guess there's a lot of you can have some arguments that just because you didn't really respect the craft of the instrument by learning all the scales and learning this and that. But if if you got it in your heart, you're gonna make it. But I see his point though, because I feel the same way, man. That's what do you think about this article?
Well, to me, I don't play. I play bass a little bit, but I read tabs. That's how I've learned to play. So I don't read music. I don't play by ear or anything. I just follow the tab, basic as you get. Man, that suck. But saying that, to me, yeah, guys that play by ear and just don't really read music. Chet Atkins, the great Chet Atkins, he said he was asked, "Does you read music?" He said, "Yeah, but not enough to hurt my picking." So you gotta
Yeah,
don't.
there's
I
two
guess
ways of
I guess
looking
it's
at it.
good to know how to do it, but don't use that as how you play. I guess if that makes sense.
Well, you know what
Um,
amazes me is orchestra musicians
right, sit down and
up
play
there with
anything.
the music, and they're perfect.
Yeah,
That they can read.
yeah,
I've had musicians in my family that can read music and stuff, and
right.
just I just I would I should have, and they're saying the same thing, but at the same time, boy, did they kick ass when we saw them. So
But then that's where there's no
reading music or
innovation there. It
not.
seems like that's where the innovation comes from. Not knowing the base, not knowing the building blocks. Making your own building blocks, and
Oh,
you
that's a
know.
good point there. Well put. Well put, Doc. The building blocks, man. Yeah. Okay, that shut me up right there because you are correct, sir. Yeah. But hey,
But no, I
good
guess
for
like you said,
them.
ultimately it would be good to be both. But
Boy, that was a great
if
concert.
that's possible.
They just kicked ass. They really did. That was great. They had Bad Honey opening up for them. That was something
Dirty
else.
Honey.
Dirty
Dirty
Honey.
Honey. Yeah, yeah, they're a great band. Yeah.
Yeah, that was excellent. So yeah, so there you go. A lot of weird stuff this week. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Jeez. We'll be bitching about that forever, just because they've lost their way so deeply and completely that what do you do? But they got MC5 in there. And everybody else, everything's rolling. We'll see what happens in the coming week though, because geez, it's crazy out there. It's a wacky world right now. We got crazy things going on at the colleges and wow, baby. We'll just watch it from afar and send it your way. So thanks for joining me, Doc. Beautiful day today, man. Fucking A. So have a good day, and why don't you take us home there, Doc?
Yeah, it's a lot better to keep up with the rock and roll news than the world news, man. That's for
You
sure, man.
betcha.
That's
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
There is no happiness to be found in following current events. I'll tell you, man. So glad that you could drop by and check us out, and please tell a friend, and go back and watch past episodes, all that good stuff. Anything to help us along, we greatly appreciate. I know we've got some loyal fans, and wish we had a few more. So you know, tell a friend. You know the right kind of people to tell. So anyway, we'll do it all again next week, like we always do. We'll see whatever comes up. We'll let you know about. So until then, have a great rock and roll filled week, everybody.